Royals! Royals! Weekend review! Royals Weekend
Hey Royals! Welcome to the first ever journalism episode of the 25-26 school year.
I'm Lyra.
And I'm Colin.
And today is October 31st, 2025.
Today, we're covering a topic that impacts communities across the country, gun violence.
Gun violence has become one of the most pressing issues in America. From school shootings to community violence, it affects families, neighborhoods, and schools every single day.
Every year, tens of thousands of people die from gun-related incidents in the United States. Gun violence isn't just about mass shootings. It includes suicides, domestic violence, accidental shootings, and community violence.
For students, schools are meant to be safe spaces, but the rise of school shootings has left many young people feeling unsafe in classrooms.
But what about here at home? Let's take a closer look at how gun violence has affected Washington State and our own community in Kent.
Here in Washington State, the impact of gun violence can also be seen. Cities like Seattle, Tacoma, and right here in Kent have dealt with rising concerns about shootings in neighborhoods and in public spaces.
In fact, Kent has seen several tragic incidents involving gun violence in recent years. These events hit especially close to home for our students and families in our community.
And sadly, this isn't the first time Washington has faced gun violence on a large scale.
Washington has also experienced some of the most notable mass shootings in the country.
In 2016, 5 people were killed at the Cascade Mall in Burlington. And in 2014, a shooting at Marysville-Pilchuck High School tragically took the lives of 5 students.
These incidents are reminders that gun violence can strike anywhere, even in schools that feel just like ours.
To understand how people feel about this issue today, we spoke with students and staff to hear their thoughts.
I'm Ro, and I'm here with Principal Rafford. What do you think about gun violence?
I think gun violence is a tragedy. My heart breaks every time I hear about a news story that involves gun violence.
Why do you think it happens?
I think there's a lot of different reasons, but it says to me that there's a breakdown in our connections in our society at some point if someone feels like they need to use gun violence to get whatever it is they need.
And what do you think could be done to prevent it?
That's such a hard question, but I feel like there's something about a community knowing what the needs are of everybody that lives in that community and working together to support one another so that people don't feel like they have to resort to gun violence to get their needs met.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Ro, and I'm interviewing Dr. Thompson, the Dean of Students. What do you think about gun violence?
I think gun violence is a very tragic thing that happens across our country all too often.
Why do you think it happens?
I think that there are a number of reasons why gun violence happens. I think that our country lacks common sense gun reform, and I think that there's too much access to guns. I feel like if there's somebody who wants to obtain a gun, it's way too easy for them to get it, especially if that someone is tending to use it to harm other people.
What do you think could be prevented?
I think common sense gun measures. So those are measures that are decided on the people that are defined as common sense. So let's say that somebody has, broken the law in a certain way or demonstrated that their behavior is harmful to others. I think that there could be protections that would make it more difficult for those types of people to obtain firearms.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm Ro, and I'm here with Mr. Worm. What do you think about gun violence?
I think gun violence is a tragic reality of living in the United States for the last 25, 30 years. Really like something to happen where we would be more protected, but it doesn't seem like our government is interested in doing that.
And why do you think it happens?
I think honestly, there's a gun culture. I don't mean like hunting culture. I mean like people that are obsessed with guns and they have these ideas that they're going to be John Wick and go out and do all these things when in reality they're more likely to have their weapons taken by someone coming into their house and using it for violent means later on.
What do you think could be done to prevent it?
I think nationally there should be a registry for every weapon. Any weapon that is used in a crime by somebody who, even if the person who owns it didn't commit the crime, if it's registered in their name, they would still be held liable for their weapon being used. Weapons that are kept in homes unsecured, the person who left them unsecured, if they're stolen, should be held accountable for it. I just feel like not enough is being done overall to protect, and maybe even some limitations on types of weapons available.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
What's something interesting about the store?
Something interesting about our store is we really try to get feedback on how to make the store better for the students and the staffs here at CAM. And we really try to like stay consistent with the hot food. I know sometimes you might be thinking it's slow, but you get back there, it's really different.
Are you adding anything new next week?
This week, we're planning on adding new items to our list. That's why we're trying to get feedback from the students here.
Where can you find the student store?
Somewhere where you can find the student store is right outside the cafeteria, where you see the big American flag and you see the little artwork on the wall. Our student store is right there. We're also going to start making a sign for outside so students that aren't really sure where the student store is, they know where it is.
What are the times or the schedule for the store?
So the student store usually opens 5 minutes after first lunch starts. We try to close 5 minutes, come into first lunch ending, like our lunch ending. So we have enough time to make sure we get everyone out and we can start over. Second lunch though, you guys have it the best. We start right away and we end 2 minutes before our lunch ends. But third lunch, we end a little bit earlier due to having to count the money and a lot of things that we have to do on our end. If you don't want to eat lunch, come to the student store.
I'm here with
Taylor.
What do you think about gun violence?
I think it's horrible, but it's America, so it's gonna happen a lot. Like if a bad person wants to get a gun, it doesn't matter about the legal loopholes. They're gonna get that gun no matter what, illegally or do someone else. And that is terrible, but it will happen. It just breaks my heart. You know, I'm scared that someday that somebody might come to this school and do that. You know, I fear for my friends. I live right next to the school, so if something does happen and I manage to get out, I would definitely try to guide people to my house for safety, but that's not a guarantee. And bullets can just fly anywhere, just take anyone out, even the unintended target. There's really not much to do besides to just have maybe more security around the school, or try to set up community ways to like help people in need who feel like they need to take out an act of violence upon the innocents. So it's more like a societal reform, which is going to be very hard for America. But I think we do have it somewhat in the bag if we just try together. But yeah, just more security and maybe more social help to those who believe they must shoot others.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Israel. What do you think about gun violence? Gun violence is such a sad topic here. Nowhere else in the world does gun violence happen as often as it does than in this country. Well, in schools at least, I think it's mostly caused by bullying and mental illness in general. And it's really tragic that people who obviously need help decide to just take it out on very unsafe ways. A way that could be used to stop it is much stricter gun laws, because in some states you can just straight up walk into a Walmart and just pick up a gun same day. And it's ludicrous. No country you should be able to just grab a firearm whenever you want.
Hearing directly from students and teachers shows how real this issue feels in our school community.
But what's being done to try and stop it? Let's look at some of the laws and legislation aimed at preventing gun violence.
In response to tragedies, Washington State has passed laws to try and reduce gun violence. For example,
Initiative 1639 raised the minimum age to buy semi-automatic rifles and required enhanced background checks.
And laws have also created extreme risk protection orders, which allow guns to be temporarily removed from people considered dangerous.
At the national level, lawmakers continue to debate gun safety laws with proposals around background checks, safe storage, and banning certain weapons.
And while these debates continue, what's certain is that the conversation about gun violence is far from over.
Gun violence is a complicated issue, but what's clear is that it impacts us all.
By learning, talking, and raising awareness, students like us can be part of the conversation about finding solutions. Stay safe, Royals.
This has been Royals Week in Review.